We found out last week that the old station's sewage system is over 100 years old. That's caused just a few poop problems. Come and take a look. So first off, we have actually finished some work getting the caravan wired and plumbed in, and that's how we found out we had a sewage problem. We've done quite a few things. First off, we've got electrics in. The wire you can see running overhead takes the power from the station to the caravan. We've also made some lovely steps up to the caravan with these railway sleepers. Handy that they were left lying around. We've got quite a few, so we're going to use them as benches for now. The caravan is starting to come together and look really nice. Welly's off before I go in, it's really muddy outside. We now have running water, and it's hot. We also have heating. If you remember, this caravan has a blow air heating system. We hadn't heard of one of these before. The heater is here. It sucks cold air in and it blows warm air out. What's absolutely great about this system is it's got these little vents everywhere that the warm air comes out of. They're in every room, so every room heats up really nicely. There's 2 in the living room and then there's 1 in the kitchen as well. We had quite a few comments about this heating system when we bought the caravan, but I can absolutely say it's really great. It heats up so quickly and it's on a thermostat, so it keeps everything at a really nice even temperature. Okay, Welly's back on and let's go back outside. You can see all the plumbing that's been done under the caravan here, and this is where we found out we have a sewage problem. The original plan was to plumb the sewage into the drains at the back of the old station. There are several drains going into the ground, so it didn't seem that there would be a problem. So first off, we looked at this drain. This one is for the runoff from the roof, so we weren't sure that it actually went into the sewage system. When we checked, it didn't. It runs straight into the ground for the water to drain away there. But no problem, we thought, because there's other drains back here. Gil's actually clearing up the mess he made upstairs and throwing things out the window, so I'm going to get past here really quickly. So the next drain is just on the corner. This one is also for water runoff from the roof, but it's an original drain, so it would have been there since the station was built. So more chance of it actually going into the drainage system. And this next one is for all the wastewater that comes out of the kitchen, so this one must be connected to the sewage system. Or so we thought. But unfortunately, neither of these drains were connected to the sewage system. The nearest access point to the sewage system is all of the way up here. Not that one, that looks gross, but it's actually just rainwater. It's this one here. This is the closest access to the sewage system for the station and for the caravan. Crazy point number 1, We wouldn't have even known this was here if we hadn't decided to dig up the path, because this was actually buried. When we bought the old station, this part of the path was completely covered with mud and grass and banking. We could see there was something under there, so we decided to dig it up. We found that the path continued under the banking, so we don't really know why the banking was put there. But luckily, we uncovered the access to the sewage system. But the problem we uncovered was that the access is quite far from anything, and seeing as it had been covered with mud for many, many years, it clearly hadn't been checked in a long time. The cesspit for the old station isn't on the old station's property. It's about 25 metres away, and we knew it was old, but we didn't realise how old until we got it checked out. So first off, we got a company called Lanes for Drains to come and stick a camera into the pipework to see what they could find. That last picture you can see there is the actual cesspit. As you can see, it looks really old, and they think it's around 100 years old. So here's what they found. This is where they stuck the camera into the pipe. It's completely clogged up with roots. They couldn't get the camera through at all. The only way they knew that water was coming through and it was connected was to put some green dye in there to test it out. Because the pipe was so clogged up, they had to blast it through, getting rid of all of those little roots before they could even get the camera down to do the survey. This big truck blasted water into the pipes at high speed to get rid of all the roots. They then put the camera back down. This starts in the manhole at 0.7 metres depth and then finishes in the septic tank at 1.2 metres deep. This is actually closer to 30 metres than the 25 I thought it was. I know what you're thinking, come out the other end, come out the other end. Unfortunately, the camera ran out of length, but you can just about see the light where the cesspit is. So what they found, which you may have been able to see on that video, was loads of cracks all the way along the length of the pipe. So they can line the pipes, that we could have liner put in there to protect the pipes and to make them good again. But what they also found was that because the cesspit is so old, it's filling up all of the time with rainwater and is actually at one of the lowest points of the land around here. So it's filling up very quickly with rainwater. When they came the first time and they couldn't get the cameras down, they emptied the cesspit, and then when they came back, which is around 10 days later, they had to empty it again because it had filled up again with rainwater and not with sewage. But what that means is, because it's filling up all the time, when we use it, it could backflow into the house. So we have some big decisions to make on what we're going to do with the sewage for the old station. But in the meantime, we also have to make some decisions on what we're going to do for the caravan while we're having those bigger projects done. So loads of decisions to make, and lots of problems with the sewage system, which really could have been anticipated given that it is 100 years old. So what we need to do now is decide what we're going to do with the sewage from the caravan and what we're going to connect this pipe up to, because we can't connect this pipe to any of the drains that are within the station. So we've made loads of progress so far. We have gas, we have water, we have electric, and we have heat, and the caravan is beautiful, and we're really lucky to have all of those in place. But we have no waste facilities currently, and we're not quite sure what we're going to do to rectify that. We know we can get an above ground tank to store the waste, but that's quite expensive and it will need emptying all the time. We're not sure if we can pump the waste to the cesspit, and obviously it needs that repair work done first before we could even do that. So lots of things we need to think about. If anybody has any other ideas, then please pop them in the comments, because we would love to hear them. Any help is always welcome. And remember to subscribe to us at the Old Station Renovation to see our journey.